Hey guys, welcome. I am live here bringing you Calm Belly TV, which one of you suggested, and if you're the one who came up with that idea a couple weeks ago, leave a comment because thank you very much. I love it, and I think it's a great little name for my weekly Wednesday live video chat. so that's awesome. All right, I'm just trying to adjust so I have the best light. For some reason, it's super sunny and there's no light, but we're gonna make do anyway. So if you're joining me live, thank you so much. I love it. You can leave questions right here and I'll see them in pretty much real time and I can answer your questions. I'm going to talk today about go-to meals. And this is something, if you've been with me for a while, I love to talk about this because I think it's a super important, super useful strategy for getting through the FODMAP diet. So I'm going to talk about what makes a perfect go-to meal. Okay, so if you're watching the replay, you can leave your questions and comments and I will get Facebook notifications and I will come back and answer your questions. And at the end, you can ask me any questions that you have, FODMAP related or not. So this chat is for you to help you out and to answer questions that you might be stuck on right now. If you're doing the free 10-day cleanse, you can ask about that. So go ahead and ask away or ask about go-to meals and we can figure this out. Okay, so I've got some notes here, so if I'm looking down, that's what's happening. I'm not looking at my dirty kitchen floor or anything like that, although I probably should be. So like I said, if you're joining me live, thank you and feel free to ask questions as we go. All right, so what makes a perfect go-to meal? And I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. If you're new around here, I'm Julie and my website is Calm Belly Kitchen. My Facebook group is Calm Belly Kitchen Crew, and welcome if this is your first time joining me on Calm Belly TV. Okay, what makes a perfect go-to meal? So I'm gonna tease you for a second and start out with saying what is not a perfect go-to meal. So a perfect go-to meal is not your dream dinner, okay? So when I say come up with go-to meals, I'm not saying the ultimate platonic ideal of the meal that you would make if you had, a perfectly clean house and a perfectly organized life and a perfectly stocked fridge. It's not that, okay? A go-to meal is not your dream dinner necessarily. It might turn into your dream dinner, but it doesn't have to be, the thing that you'd make if you had all the time and resources in the world, okay? Also, a go-to meal is not necessarily made from scratch. It is homemade, but it's not necessarily made from scratch. And I think you can probably figure out the difference in what I mean there. So when you're on the low FODMAP diet, you do have to do a lot more cooking yourself. So you're gonna be doing things that are homemade, but you don't have to make every last thing from scratch. So the perfect example is rotisserie chicken. You can get a rotisserie chicken at natural food stores, even a lot of supermarkets, farmers markets, where they don't add a ton of, crazy spices to it. It's just a plain, simply cooked rotisserie chicken, and that is something that you could add to homemade food, and it's the easiest thing in the world. It's really healthy, it's great protein, it's low FODMAP, and it's not something that you have to make from scratch. So the third thing that a go-to meal is that it's not my go-to meal or anyone else's. So what I mean by that is that what I say I eat for lunch every day may totally not work for you at all. So a go-to meal has to fit into your life and your schedule and your routine. So if you have to eat lunch at work every single day, then your go-to meal can't be, a stir fry that someone can make if they're at home for lunch every day. So it has to fit your needs, and that's why we have to create our own individual go-to meals. And maybe you've got your breakfast and your lunch totally figured out. Maybe you're happy to eat the same breakfast every day. So don't worry about that. Just eat your breakfast, that's great, and come up with different go-to meals for dinner. Focus on where you need to have reliable choices that are easy and that you can turn to when you're busy and you don't know what else to cook. Okay, so that's what a go-to meal is not. Hi Nicole, thank you so much for saying you're listening. I love it when you guys join me live. It's awesome to know that you guys are out there when I'm talking live, because I have to say, even though I've done this week after week, it's still a little nerve-wracking, but thanks. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about what does make the perfect go-to meal. So the first thing is that it's easy to do when you're busy and you're tired. And that's why I think having these go-to meals is such a key strategy, because in any eating plan that you're trying to do, let's say you're trying to lose weight, when do you fall off the wagon? It's when you're stuck in a tight situation, when you're crunched for time and you were going to, cook that beautiful pork chop and steamed kale, but it's 7:59 and you're starving and you don't want to make a mess in the kitchen and you just want to eat and be done with it. So a go-to meal has to be quick and fairly easy so that you can do it even when you're stressed and busy and your day doesn't go as well as as you would hope that it does. Okay, Nicole, this is a great topic. I'm going to start the cleanse within the next few days because I was literally doubled over in pain today and I've had it. Good, I hope the cleanse helps you, and please, use the Facebook group to ask questions and really make the most of it, because together we can pool all of our resources, and if you can't come up with good go-to meals, other people can help you and you can help other people. So I'm going to start a thread, I think, tomorrow or today, like sharing your go-to meals, because it's really helps to see other people's, even if that's not perfect for you. You can get ideas all the time. Hi Marge, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining me. I know you like the videos, so thank you for being here. All right, so the next thing, number 2, that makes a perfect go-to meal is that it requires only easy to buy and easy to store ingredients. So it requires easy ingredients. And someone kind of asked me about this the other day. I think it was in an email someone sent me saying that they like to have fresh food, so what can they, keep in their pantry that could make a go-to meal? And the thing is, you don't have to have everything, that would, that you could store for months and, keep through a natural disaster. It doesn't have to be, only pantry food. Your go-to meal can be something where you always keep the food in stock. Like, I always have spinach for my breakfast, and so I never go to the supermarket without buying those packs of pre-washed spinach. That's just one of my staple foods that is a part of a lot of my go-to meals. So you're always going to have that on your shopping list. If you're rotating through different go-to meals, you could say, well, this week I want to make sure I have the ingredients for my favorite pasta, and you just have those ingredients. So you don't have to keep them, in the freezer or in the pantry. You can keep restocking them, but it's things that are easy, things that you can pick up at any grocery store. Maybe you can't go to the best natural grocery store, but you can get it anywhere. Or it's something that you can keep on hand, like quinoa, or even pre-cooked rice or minute rice. Whatever works for you. Like I said, it's all about you. But it has to be easy to buy, easy to keep, easy to find. Okay, the next thing, wow, you hear the noise outside. That was like a loud motorcycle outside my house. You probably can't hear it, but I live on a busy street. Okay, the third thing that makes a perfect go-to meal is that it makes you feel happy and satisfied. So I just went through telling you how go-to meals are convenient and quick and dirty and not your perfect ideal dinner that you'd make on a perfect day, but they still need to make you feel good and feel satisfied, because I don't want you to, throw together some junk and then feel depressed about it. That's not a great go-to meal either. And, that can happen some days, and that's okay. You're stuck without your spinach and you've got, it doesn't happen for you. But in a perfect world, even though it's something simple and something quick and something easy, it's something you enjoy. If your go-to meal is a salad with rotisserie chicken, but you love that and you love to crunch on a salad with some dressing and that makes you happy, perfect. It's great. It takes 5 or 10 minutes to make and you're happy and you're satiated. It could be something like turkey burgers, where you could make them on the weekend and put them in the fridge or the freezer, and on those really busy nights you pull out a turkey burger. You can cook one burger, put some tasty cheese on it, have it with lettuce, have it with some roasted potatoes or even frozen potatoes, whatever works, but it could be something like that. So it's not a dream dinner, but who doesn't like a burger with some good aged cheddar cheese on it? It could be something like an omelet with goat cheese or feta and spinach and chopped avocado, which I actually just described is my personal go-to breakfast. Like, I have that usually 5 days a week. And that would be an awesome dinner. And you can make an omelet like that in 5 or 10 minutes. So I am happy as can be to eat that omelet. And yet it's something simple and something that I can keep the ingredients on hand pretty much all the time, unless my avocado buying situation is not cooperating, which definitely happens. Okay, so do you guys have any questions about go-to meals or sharing what your go-to meals are? Does that make sense, what I'm saying? Like it can be easy, but it can still be something that you really enjoy and that, you know, makes you feel good about eating low FODMAP and makes you feel healthy and that you know is really going to treat your body well. So that is how I define a go-to meal, and that's what I consider a perfect go-to meal. So I see some people recently joined me, and I'm just going to recap what a go-to meal is not. It's not your dream dinner that you'd make on a perfect day where everything is perfect. It's not necessarily made from scratch, but it is homemade. And it's not my perfect go-to meal, it's yours because it fits into your routine and to your life. And what makes it a perfect go-to meal is that it's easy to do when you're busy and when you're tired and when you have no time. It requires easy ingredients and it makes you happy and satisfied and calm in your belly. So that's the perfect go-to meal. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, Kat says turkey burger, yep, grilled and reheated in the microwave. Yeah, you can even cook them all at once and then just reheat them. Like hamburgers are great like that. That's a perfect one. All right, I'm going to hang out for another minute or so and ramble a little bit in case anybody has another question. And if you have a non-go-to meal, just FODMAP question, feel free to ask away. And if you think of it after this, you can put it into the comments and I will come back and answer your question. Hi, Jennifer. I see that you joined. Okay, Marge, a go-to meal available is what can help us to be successful on the low FODMAP diet. That is pretty much the point of this video. That sums it up. Yeah, I think you don't have to have like 10 go-to meals. You can have like 3. It's just when you're, you know, maybe you're like stopping at the grocery store on your way home from work and you're like, what the heck am I gonna buy? You didn't have time to make a plan. You know these like 3 or 4 meals that you know the ingredients, you know they're easy, you know they're quick, and you can put it together really easily. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for hopping on. All right, does anyone else have any questions? Questions about FODMAP, questions about go-to meals? All right, I think this might be one of my shorter Calm Belly TV episodes, which is just fine because I am a rambler. It's one of my faults, but you guys put up with me, so thank you. Thanks for everyone who joined me live, and I will talk to you soon. All right, bye.